Alright, so before we get into CSS properties and stuff like that, I want to take a break from VS Code and just go into Google and take a look at the dev tools. Now, if you're not using Google, if you're using Firefox or Safari, those also have developer tools, and they can do all the stuff we're going to do in this video. You just might have to look up the shortcut to get to them, or the menu item to get to them. So in Chrome, if you're on Windows, you can hit F12. That should open them. If you're on a Mac, you can do Option Command I, and that will also open them. And it's also in the menu, so if you go up here and you go to more tools, I know you guys can't see it, but off to the right there's a developer tools option, and I can click that, and that will also open them up. So there's a lot of tabs here, and they're very powerful. We can see network connections, we have a JavaScript console, there's all types of stuff we can do here. But what we want to focus on is the Elements tab. And what this does is it shows us all the HTML and CSS for the page. And by the way, if you want to make this bigger or smaller, you can hit Control plus to make it bigger, or Control minus to make it smaller. Also, if you want it to dock on the side, you could go like that, or the other side, or you can even undock it. This will undock it and put it in a separate window. I usually like to have it on the bottom. But anyways, this is the HTML over here. This is the CSS. Now notice when I hover over something like the body, it actually highlights everything that's in the body. If I hover over the div with the ID of welcome, it hovers over that. Okay, if I uncollapse this and I go over the H2, the paragraph, so whatever I hover over, it's going to highlight in the browser. And then if we want to select something, we can go ahead and hit the select tool. See how it turned blue? And then let's say I want to look at the HTML and CSS for this welcome, this H2 right here. I can click that, and notice that it's now highlighted down here, and it also shows me the CSS. So it shows me the H2 CSS and the class of primary heading, because that's a class that's actually on this element. Now, we didn't put any of this H2 stuff in here. The font size, display block, there's some margin here, font weight bold. This is default browser styling. Okay, every browser has default styling. For the most part, it's pretty much the same. And the way that we can tell this is from the browser is right here, user agent style sheet. Okay, by user agent, it basically means the browser that you're using. This styling is coming from our selectors HTML file. Now, usually this will be a CSS file, because like I said, usually we use external CSS files, and you'll see that when we start getting into projects, but it's just going to give us whatever the file name this CSS is located in. Alright, now we can actually change stuff here too temporarily. So this welcome text right here, if I wanted to change this to, let's say, hello, and then click somewhere else, you'll see the text actually changes. I can also, I can change this if I want to, I don't know, other class, and now you'll see that it's no longer blue because it doesn't have the primary heading class. The primary heading is where that blue came from. Okay, now what's cool is you can do this with any site. Like if we go to google.com and we open up our tools here, and what I want to do is click the select icon, and then this button right here. So this is actually an input. It has the type of submit. Remember we learned about this stuff in the last section, and the value is I'm feeling lucky. So if I double click this, I can change this to whatever. Let's say I'm feeling awesome, and you might want to have some fun with this. And notice that it's changed now in the browser. Now it hasn't changed on Google's servers so other people can see it. It's only locally to our browser. And if we reload the page, it goes back to normal. So if we wanted to change some CSS, let's go up here and let's click on the body. That gives us the CSS of the body. Let's say we wanted to change the background here, which is white. This is hexadecimal for white. Let's change it to red. So now we have a red body. We can change the color here to white, and notice the text up here is not white because this has its own styling. So if I click the select tool and let's click one of these links right here, notice the color is black. So I'm going to select that and change it to white, and now these links are white. Okay, so you can really have some fun here. You could replace the image link if you want. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, see, now it goes back to normal. But you could change a whole bunch of stuff. You can add content, and it's only local to your machine. No one else sees it, obviously. That would the internet would be a crazy place if you could just edit anyone's site, but it is kind of fun to mess with, and you can learn a lot from doing stuff like that. All right, so I just wanted to kind of introduce you to the Chrome tools, the developer tools, and we will be using these more as we go along in the course. So in the next video, we're going to start to look at fonts. I want to look at different font families. I want to talk about web-safe fonts, and we'll also look at colors. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer.